So this is a predictions slash review video. I didn't do the predictions video, so I'm just going to tell you guys what I predicted. Not going to lie or anything. I'm just going to tell you how it was. And I'm going to talk about all the matches that happened at Extreme Rules, including on the pre-show. So first up, the Intercontinental Championship match between challenger Shinsuke Nakamura versus the champion Finn Balor. Really good match. Not really good. It wasn't better than their NXT matchup that they had on NXT TV, but it was solid. I thought that Shinsuke was going to win because he just came back, and I thought it would have been weird to have him lose to Finn Balor after just coming back. They could have easily done some 50-50 booking, and like for a second I thought Finn was going to win when he went up for the coup de grace. I was like, oh, well, this is it. But no, Shinsuke got out of the way, hits taking shots to the back of the head, then hits one to the face, and Shinsuke is now, he has been the United States champion, and now he is your Intercontinental champion. And I hope this is a new Shinsuke that we're going to get here, and better than the one we had before where he kept punching people in the dick. All right, cool. So, last match of the pre-show, Tony Nese, who you see here, challenging Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight Championship in Drew Gulak's hometown, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Crowd was hot to see him. Usually Cruiserweight matches are really, really good, but that wasn't the case here, unfortunately. It was really still a good match, don't get me wrong, but just a couple botches kind of took away from it, like the 450 splash. The moonsault didn't really hit the way it should have, but it was still solid to say the least. Like, I feel like it could have gone on for a bit longer because there were 9 minutes left in the pre-show. I think that match should have gone a good 20 or maybe 22, 23 minutes, you know what I mean? But it seemed like only went about 10, maybe 11, 12 minutes, which is still fine, but I just think with these two knowing each other the way that they do, as the story was telling us, the start of 205 Live, these two were like buddies or whatever. So I thought it would have been cool to kind of see them just go counter back and forth every single time until one finally catches the other to win. But I thought Drew was going to retain. He did. I think he's going to face Oney Lorcan next. So that's fine. Solid match. It was fun. And we just move on, I guess. Speaking of Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon will open the show against Undertaker and Roman Reigns in a no-holds-barred tag team match, and it was like a legit tag team match. It was just no disqualification. Undertaker was in form. He tried to put Shane through a table, but got hit in the back by Elias with a guitar. He also he was really good. The chokeslams looked good. He hit the old school. He didn't use the last right or do a tope, which I didn't expect him to do a tope, but still would have been cool if he did. You coward. Anyways, Roman Reigns was looking good too, punishing Shane McMahon. Shane didn't look like, I'm so good, I can counter everything, which I don't like when they do that, but it was cool to see here. Every time he thought he had it, he got caught by something, and Drew had to save him, basically, or Elias had to save him. Shane McMahon hit a elbow drop through a table and a coast-to-coast with a trash can to Undertaker. Undertaker was taking some bumps, man. He was taking some bumps. All right, I appreciate it. But it got to a point where Undertaker was about to win the matchup, setting up the Tombstone Piledriver on Shane. And it was a really cool shot because it was zoomed in on him doing the throat slash. But out from behind him, Drew McIntyre emerged from behind him, and it looked like he was going to hit the Claymore. And I thought Drew and Shane were going to win this one, with Drew pinning the Undertaker to set up a match at SummerSlam, as rumored. But no, that didn't happen. Drew charges in, gets hit with a spear by Roman Reigns, and then Taker hits a tombstone of Shane McMahon, and Shane McMahon has lost again. So I guess the story here is that he's going downhill, and I hope it's The Miz that takes him out, not Kevin Owens. It would be cool to see Kevin Owens face him at SummerSlam, and if that's what happens, that's okay. What I think should happen is either The Miz faces Shane and beats him, or Miz gets a team, Shane gets a team, and they have a big match at SummerSlam to end all this. Anyways, next match I think was a tag team match with the Revival and the Usos. Not much to really talk about here because there wasn't a lot of build-up. I thought the Revival was going to retain, and they did. It was cool. I think War Raiders are next in line. It was a really cool Shadow Machine spot. The story basically being that the Revival is using their same tactics, very clever, taking advantage of when the ref isn't looking, taking advantage of when the team is breaking down, stuff like that. But in the end, they would win with the Shadow Machine, and Usos take the L. Fine by me. Next match, I think, was Aleister Black and Cesaro. Really cool match. One of the best matches of the night. I think the opener was good, and this match was good. And I think we all knew Alistair was going to win. If you haven't seen that match, I do recommend seeing it if it's on WWE Network and you skipped it because oh, it's predictable, I know who's going to win. Just watch it anyway. It was good. It was good. I'm not even going to spoil any of the spots. I just think you should just check it out in general. It was really cool. Cesaro, freak of nature, man. He did a really cool spot where he caught Aleister Black. I'm not going to tell you how he caught him. Just want you to see it for yourself. I think next was the handicap match for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, and Alexa Bliss and who? Nikki Cross. I'm sorry about that. I thought they were going to lose to Bayley because Sasha Banks was going to come back and help them out. Commentary even mentioned, without seeing her name, that Bayley once had a friend who abandoned her. That was really cool that they mentioned her, but that's what got me thinking that Sasha was going to come back out of nowhere, which would have been cool. Didn't happen though. Bayley overcame the odds. She had a double submission with the Indian Deathlock on Nikki Cross, and she also had the, I guess, a fake statement or a crossface on Alexa. Didn't work. Twisted Bliss goes for it. Bayley counters and also hits an elbow drop Macho Man style onto Nikki Cross. Nikki takes the pin. Would have been cool to see Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross do some tag team moves to kind of hint at them being in the tag division, which would have been cool with me, but it's fine. That didn't happen. Whatever. Who's next to challenge Bayley? Maybe Mandy Rose. Maybe it'll be Sonya Deville. Maybe it'll be Ember Moon. Any of those matches would be cool with me. But whatever. Moving forward, I think the next match was the last man standing match between Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. Really good match. Another really good match of the night. They went into the crowd. They went into the entrance of the building, which was cool. Suplexed to a wall, almost fell on his head, which was scary, but didn't happen. Also, Braun got speared through a barricade, almost hit the back of his head on the freaking steps and probably would have died. Didn't happen. Good on that. Power slam off the balcony through, I don't know if it was a table, some sort of platform. It exploded. Not like an actual explosion, but they just crashed into it. And then, like Bakugo from My Hero Academia, Braun Strowman broke through the walls and he was the one left standing. And Bobby Lashley lost. I'm glad Bobby didn't get buried. It was a good match, and Strowman moves on. What's he going to do next? I don't know. Then there was the United States Championship match. Crowd wasn't really into it, but I liked it. Ricochet versus AJ Styles. I expected the club to interfere in this one, and I expected Braun to win earlier, and he did. I expected the club to interfere in this one and AJ Styles to win, and AJ hit this backwards. Actually, before I say that, the story that some people noticed was that the club would do the 2 sweet and then Ricochet would beat, or no, they would lose. So maybe that's what could happen here with AJ Styles. But another thing that they did was a callback to a match that they had on Raw where Ricochet's foot was underneath the bottom ropes and the ref spotted it afterwards, or a ref from the back spotted it, and then AJ Styles didn't win the United States Championship because of that. And then Ricochet would retain. So I think it was cool to do a callback to that where Carl Anderson actually called it out to help AJ not get cost the victory here by having his foot underneath the bottom rope. Immediately after that, Ricochet sets up the 630. Luke Gallows interferes while Carl Anderson gets taken out by Ricochet to leave him in the ring to distract the ref. AJ hits a reverse. Well, it was still the Styles Clash, but he jumped backwards from the second rope to the ring. It was really scary. I thought he was going to hit his head on the turnbuckles. He did not, and AJ is your new United States Champion. So we had 2 titles change hands thus far. We move on to the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. I think that was the next match. I might be wrong. Maybe that was before or after. I don't know. Anyways, the New Day versus Heavy Machinery versus Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. I thought Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan were going to retain here. Really good match. For the most part, I like that Heavy Machinery got to do some things instead of them just being there just to take a pin or something like that. But it was cool to see Big E get out of Daniel Bryan's label lock, because Daniel Bryan had his arm, then he had his other arm, then he had his leg, and Big E only had one leg to escape. So that was cool to see. Big E caught him out of a moonsault and then right into the midnight hour with Xavier. And New Day is your new champion. So right now, at this point, WWE champion Kofi Kingston and New Day are the tag team champions. And it was kind of cool when they celebrated together, kind of like, oh yeah, look, we all got all the gold, yeah. And then like it could have been like, oh well, now Kofi loses. That would have been really something. That would have been really, really cool if that were to happen. We'll get to that later. I think the next match, actually, I think that is the next match. Yeah, Kofi versus Samoa Joe. Paul Heyman hinted at Brock cashing in on Kofi or cashing in on Seth and saying that it's going to happen tonight. It's going to happen tonight. I didn't believe him. I don't know if the crowd believed him, but we'll see. Regardless, drink some water real quick. Regardless, Kofi Kingston and Samoa Joe had a really good. Well, no. It had a really good story going in, but the match wasn't that good. I don't think Samoa Joe should have lost the way he did. In fact, I think he should have won, and that's what I thought was going to happen, but it didn't happen. That's okay. Samoa Joe's working his hand because Kofi Kingston flipped him off, so he was trying to like destroy his hand or whatever, and Kofi was selling it really good. Samoa Joe got him in the Coquina Clutch at one point, countering the SOS. I kept thinking that Samoa Joe was going to win at like certain points, but it never happened. But no. I think Samoa Joe probably win the championship at SummerSlam if this rivalry continues, but he lost here to Surprise Trouble in Paradise from almost completely out of nowhere. Right after this match, we go into I don't know. I don't have much to say about that match. I'm sorry, but anyways, Kevin Owens comes out and he's facing Dolph Ziggler, and it was a squash. Okay, I'm not even gonna pretend like it wasn't. He got slapped in the face and he hit Dolph with a stunner, wins the match, and then cuts a promo on Shane McMahon, saying that Shane can kiss his ass and how he sucks and blah blah blah. And then he leaves, and now we move on to the mixed tag match with the Extreme Rules. And going into this one, I was a little bit worried because I thought what they were going to do is just the men and the women just weren't going to interact whatsoever, which is going to be really annoying to see. I'm like, how are you going to do this? It's Extreme Rules. There's no rules. What are you going to do? This is going to be really, really stupid if this doesn't work out the way I think it's going to work out. You know what I mean? I was hoping like Baron Corbin hit the end of days on Becky. I was hoping like Seth Rollins hit a curve stuck on Lacey onto a chair. I'm sorry. Anyways, the match actually was surprisingly pretty good. I really liked it, and this is my favorite match. I don't think it was match of the night, but it was my favorite match, and it was cool to see how this one played out. You know, you had Becky and Seth working together at certain points, dominating. You had Lacey and Baron Corbin working together. Lacey actually had Seth Rollins' name on her butt cheeks, so she like tried to like have the camera like zoom in on it so they could see, but we didn't see any of the letters. We just saw her ass. That's all we saw. And yeah, Corey had to point it out that it was there. I didn't even know until he said it. I couldn't see that at all from that camera angle. Just saying. Anyways, I was expecting like a lot of spots in this one. There were some good spots. I was expecting more. You know, I was expecting like a whole lot of spots. You know, announce table spots and stuff like that. Because they did rebuild the table after Shane McMahon put Undertaker through it earlier on, but they never went back to it. So that's cool. Double chokeslam from Lacey and Baron Corbin happened. A leg drop through a table to Lacey, and then Seth Rollins jumped on Baron Corbin through a table right after that. That was cool. Double suplex spot on the stage where it was like Baron Corbin and Lacey were going to put Seth through a table, but then Becky came in and they did it together and they won. Like, or no, they didn't win like that. They just countered it like that, which was cool. Seth and Becky at the beginning were beating Baron Corbin and Lacey with like kendo sticks, which was cool to see. I don't know how we got here. I can't remember. Oh, Lacey tried to seduce Seth. That was interesting. But I can't remember what exactly happened. There was a certain point though that led to Seth like being out of the way, Lacey being out of the way, and Baron Corbin hit Becky Lynch with the End of Days out of nowhere. And when he did it, like we kind of thought he was going to do something. We didn't know what he was going to do exactly, and then he did it, and everyone was like, "Oh shit, what was that?" But then Seth went crazy, beating him with the kendo stick, broke it, everything, just destroying him. Get the chair, beats him with the chair now, and then hits 3 curb stomps to Baron Corbin, kind of like he did to Brock Lesnar, or exactly like he did to Brock Lesnar, and then he won the matchup to retain his championship and retain Becky's championship, as I predicted would happen. I think everybody thought that was going to happen because if they lose, they wouldn't get a shot for as long as the other two are champions. So we're thinking, that's it. Seth was pissed. Okay, cool. And then we hear Brock Lesnar's music hit. And I'm like, oh, shit. He's going to cash in. And he did. 2 German suplexes, and then he officially announced his cash in. Seth Rollins, there's no way he can stop him. Gets hit with the F5. Brock Lesnar is your new champion. So a lot of people was obviously disappointed with that. A lot of people were happy about that. The crowd was like chanting, we want Brock. No, we don't. We want Brock. No, we don't. And then Brock actually shows up. He cashes in, and he becomes champion. And I'm hoping this title reign, and I think it actually will be a bit different. I don't even think it's going to be that long. He probably will end up losing to Seth at SummerSlam. Probably not. I'm hoping that's the case, but just like, it's Brock Lesnar. I highly doubt he's just going to come back, cash in, get the championship, and then lose again to Seth. But I want that to happen, and that would be pretty cool. I just hope the title reign is different altogether. I just wanted to be on Raw more. He doesn't have to wrestle all the time or wrestle at all on Raw, but I would want him to. Just don't have the title disappear. Just don't do that. That's just really stupid. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it, please. Maybe he will. I don't know, man. But it was really cool, and I really liked the stream rules, and I wonder if you guys liked it too. Let me know in the comments below, and I guess I'll see y'all later for Enemies WWE Adventure. Later.